Well, I twisted her arm. I talked Amy into doing a top 10 list. I just like this time of year. Listen, we all know for the most part how the ladder looks in the stable. Right? You know it. I know it. I don't got to tell you that. But I think it is worth, from week to week, giving you, as Amy put it, I like what it wasn't a top 10 list. It was stars of the week. I think that's actually aptly named. It's better than a top 10 list because these are horses that look good this week, horses that deserve to get mentioned this week. Now, that's not to say that we're going to forget about the horses that are, like, we're not going to not have perfect thought on a list. No, I don't know if she made mine now that I say it.
But the whole pace set could be on the list every week. It takes up 5 spots.
But we don't have to put all 5 on there.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why
it's stars of the week, but there has to be a number. Right? I'm not going to go on and talk about 18 horses. So that's why it kind of is. It's a top 10 list, stars of the week. How's that? Stars of the week edition by Amy. So these are horses that what's that?
The game started.
Are they at home or away? You guys have us late for your brother's game. You're both in trouble. You're on probation, both of you. Because your mother and I were sitting there quietly half an hour before the game started watching the warm-ups, and then you called because you just climbed out of the rack and wanted us to run home and pick you up.
Wake us up.
I don't know. That wasn't my department.
We don't have to be in trouble.
Oh, you don't have to be in trouble? Okay. All right. Well, I'll take you out of trouble then.
Field first.
They're in the field first? No, it's not a big deal then. So, I love doing these lists. I know that Amy's worried because people are like, oh, why did my horse make this? Why did my horse? You guys know why they didn't. I'm giving you a real look at what I saw. A bird's eye view from my eyes and from her eyes this week of what went on. And Perfect Thought is still the queen of the castle. She's still number 1. You know that. But how did everybody train this week? Do you not want to know if a horse moved from, theoretically, 28th to 13th? I would. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Top 10 list. My first top 10 horse, Sterling Hanover. It's been a long time since he made this list. What are you doing? You can't go, hey, my horse, that was my top 10 pick. I got to go first. Sterling Hanover was very good. What I love about him, you're not going to say, you're never going to hear me just put a horse on there if their attitude isn't perfect. And I was concerned. Dominic said, his attitude, I don't know. Well, because he trains the way we train him. On a helmet, nose to helmet.
Why are you saying it to me?
I didn't. I was just saying it out loud. Nose to helmet, and he'll sprint on the end of it. You guys saw his training trip on Saturday at Mohawk. That's exactly what he did. He followed intently, and the very second I moved him over, he trotted as hard as he could from the head of the lane to the wire. You can't ask any more from a horse than that. And he did it well. He did it very efficiently. And he did bump his knees a couple of times. So we're going to make a tiny, tiny shoeing change up front. And I think it'll make all the difference in the world to this horse. Now, you're number 10, Matt. I don't know who it is. All right, go. Sterling Hanover? All right, well, you tell everybody, because you weren't sitting behind him. You were watching him, so it is a different view. You tell everybody what you saw.
He made my list because he improved.
Yeah, he did.
He said this was a list of the week.
Just horses I want to talk about this week.
He went to the track. He went to a new place. He trotted.
That's true too. That's important to say. Usually, when you bring a horse to Mohawk the first time, there's that feeling out process, right? The first week isn't always the best week, so that's worth noting. Also, I did not. She made a break yesterday.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And he, like Johnny was saying, and that's what he did to me a couple weeks ago. He saw the turn coming and was off stride before even.
That's just him being immature, just a little cowardly.
So he didn't even offer to run yesterday.
That's because I scored him. Did you see him score down?
Yes. Okay. I'm not telling you good job. I'm telling the
Well, you can. No, you can. I mean, you can't put me on your top 10 list, but you can pat me on the back whenever you want. He was good. So two very different reasons. I explained what I saw as a driver, and you explained what you saw in retrospect to what you know about the horse, because you've gone with the plenty also. The horse deserved to be on the list. But the thing I loved about him the most is he cleared James and kind of coasted away. His ears came up. I like that the horse enjoys doing his work well. It's important. It's very important. And I was really happy with Sterling Hanover. My number 9 is Pretty Eyes and Lies. She was very good in training, and Amy and I were kind of waiting with bated breath. I told her, I said, it's May, no more, the training wheels are off, there's no more protection. You have to make sure. I want to know if there are any issues with Pretty Eyes and Lies. And we both suspected her knees were quite sore. She trained hard. Obviously, the next day can I help you?
Can I do that thing that I was doing yesterday?
What thing?
That I gave people the ball and then they spin.
Well, that's up to the coach, but you're probably okay to do it. You're probably okay to do it, but you got to ask the coach. She was taking the ball from the basket and putting it on the stand for the kids to hit. So Pretty Eyes and Lies, I worked her very hard on, what day was that? Wednesday? And then she made a break in the turn, but come back, circled the field, won the set going away, and looked very, very good doing it. My question, which was everybody's question that cared, was, okay, how do you look tomorrow? She looked good. And I went with her the day after tomorrow. I saw Amy go there the next day. She was good. I went with her the day after that, and she was absolutely awesome. So really, really, 7 minutes. Really, really happy with... Why am I...
Ironwood's that way.
I went the wrong way. I turned before I should have. My mistake. Next turn. So it probably is 8 minutes because I turned a minute early. What's this place? Oh, really? I didn't know that was there. Huh. So Pretty Eyes and Lies was very good. Really happy with what I saw her. What I've seen now is a filly that, one, is her confidence is growing, and two, she's staying sound, obviously, which is very...
Ironwood is that way.
What? Oh, Ironwood was down there? Did I make a mistake and turn the wrong way?
I don't know what you did.
Oh. I thought it was up here. You're saying it's down there?
Well, that sign said Ironwood. No, go up here, turn right.
Oh.
Why is Ironwood over there?
It must loop. It must loop around.
That's
Yeah, I knew I was just wrong by one exit. So,
see, the Hanlon's right there.
I know.
Hanlon House.
I don't disappoint. I'm not arguing with you the direction. All I said was I thought it was a little long. No, I made the right turn. You got to go around to Ironwood. What I should have done, I know what I did now. I turned left off Edinburgh. I should have went up one more exit, turned left, and Ironwood was right there. The park is right there. So I made a little bit of an error. It's still 8 minutes either way.
Dad, is it the same place?
It's the same place, yes.
Oh, man. Well, I don't want to go to the park.
Okay, you don't have to. So, Pretty Eyes and Lies, I was happy with. You're number 9, ma'am.
Simply chaotic.
Simply Chaotic. Okay, give me a reason why.
Well, I think sometimes the Ontario breds, they're not under our eyes a lot.
100%
and
right, yeah.
I got to see them all train yesterday. And I've seen him train at the farm too, and he's usually
Where are we at here?
I remember seeing that house with the water.
straight.
Straight?
Yes.
I really got us messed up and turned around this time. You sure it's straight?
Yes.
Okay. So, Simply Chaotic, yeah? I think you're right. Yeah, we don't talk about them enough because we don't see them enough. I went with Simply
I know
Chaotic.
he didn't look like super awesome at Mohawk, but I've seen him train at the farm.
I went with him 3 weeks ago, and I thought he was one of the better trotters I'd gone with that week overall, over the entire stable. Very durable,
And
very tough.
considering he's a trickster, I can't believe I put him on my list.
Yeah, you're not a Trixton lover. I liked Trixton. I mean, I think one of the horses that I thought the most of was Spirit of Dio, a mare that we had quite a while ago, and she was a Trixton.
Tuesday, Addie.
So I like them, and I think everything you said is correct. Simply Chaotic. I wish he had just worked them a little harder, but I talked to Dom after about it. It won't be a problem, I don't think, moving forward. So, where's he starting at?
He played center.
Oh, they're up at bat now? Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're up at bat now. He bats later in the order anyway. So Simply Chaotic. Interesting. I like that pick. My number 8. Where are you at, 8? I'm looking for the number 8. Now, my number 8 is Dune. Dune could have been a lot higher. I mean, I have to look at everything I want to say, everything I've said, and say, okay, where does Dune fit? What's wrong? You think I'm too close to that car?
Well, Ava and I are fine.
Oh, yeah. No, we're good now. And when it comes to Dune, honestly, I could have put Dune at number 1. The way she trained the other day, I thought she was absolutely tremendous. I remember Dominic saying, and I haven't gone with Dune in since we broke her, probably.
Yeah.
I don't think I've gone with Dune since I broke her, and other than that week, that month, whatever. She's just always done it right, done it proper. And Dominic said, she's not quite as good on the front. I put her on the front yesterday. She was exceptionally good yesterday on the front. I come 30-2 in the jog cart, and she was absolutely awesome. Do you want to get out with your sister? Do you guys want to go up? Mommy and I are just going to finish this video real quick.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to? All right. Well, just sit there then. So Dune, I thought Dune was tremendous in training yesterday, and really for Philly, when I was going in, I'm going into the mile thinking she's good, and she completely floored me how good she was. So that is where I was with Dune yesterday. Who is your number 8?
My number 8 was Aunt Sarah.
Okay. Tell them why.
I just gone with her the last couple of times, and I thought that she's a lot better. Just remember, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, she didn't seem right to me, and I didn't really know what to think.
Yeah.
But the last 2 times I've gone with her, and she's like polite again. She wasn't grabby.
She's not sore.
So she, I think she's a nice filly.
So the thing about Aunt Sarah was, I went with her, and she did make a break on me too. Hey, you sit down, please.
Aww.
Yes, I made a break. She made a break on me. We put the hobbles on her. She was much better. Here's my take on Aunt Sarah. Her right hind has always bothered her a little bit. I would say, knowing the Uncle Peter breed, and knowing that, here's the thing about lameness. It never stays the same. It gets worse or better. Aunt Sarah has been over on the left shaft just a hair, and a little funky sometimes right hind since the day we broke her.
Bobby does the same thing, though.
No, not like Aunt Sarah, though. Aunt Sarah's quite a bit worse. Bobby does it because she touches, I believe, and she's a little self-conscious. Aunt Sarah does it. I would suggest, if you x-rayed and floor scope those 2 stifles, you would have the vet saying the right one is just maybe a little, it's not quite as strong as the right one. It's just a little more immature. Mm-hmm. And this was the same way Oso Pine was it too. He wore a gating pole and a gating strap his entire 2- and 3-year-old season. So this is more indicative of the Uncle Peter, breed. So we put the hobbles on to help her, but I think when you saw her and she was over a little bit more on the shaft, I think her knees were bothering her. She was starting to load a little bit of weight behind. The little bit of weight she was loading behind bothered that right stifle a little bit more, caused her to get a little bit sorer than she usually does. Over on the left shaft a little more, probably started to interfere a little more, and that's when you start to see her get a little hot and a little wound up. But as we put the hobbles on her, put a little blister on her knees, gave her a week off, and that week off also blistered her stifles, gave everything a chance to cool down a little bit, put the hobbles on to help her. 2 starts, 2 training trips with the hobbles on, all of a sudden she's saying, oh, I'm back. And that's what you're seeing from Aunt Sarah. That's why you're seeing her start to cool down and be faster now. Oh, he was almost there.
Yeah.
Cool down now and be a little quicker, a little more durable. And that was solely and simply because 1, the hobbles helped her, and 2, we worked on the issues that were causing that to begin with. So that was your number 8, right? My number 7 is Zena Kemp. Zena Kemp has been good. I know. I keep telling you guys, you see them make. You guys get to see everything. You get to see behind the curtains. You get to see all the production staff, right? Where rather than just coming to the track and watch the horse train, or calling your trainer on the phone and having say, hey, how'd the horse train today? I made a little break, not too worried about it, or didn't make a break or whatever. You get to see everything. And you saw her struggle a little bit. You saw her get sore. We gave her 2 weeks off. Dr. Latessa said knees are bothering her. She's loading weight. Her ankles, her sesamoids behind hurt her a little bit. So they can only take so much, right? When your sesamoids bother you to begin with, and now you're starting to load weight behind because your knees are getting a little sore, obviously what you see is a horse get out of gear and make lots of breaks, especially trotters. But when it came to Zena, it was simple. Blister those hind ankles, blister her knees up, work on her stifles and her back, the secondary things that are going to hurt her, give her a couple weeks of no training, and then start back. And that's what we did. And she just got better and better and better. You went by me the other day very easily with Zena. She looked exceptionally good, but she seemed comfortable. Addie Bear, I can hear the breathing behind me when you were sitting behind me, and it was super comfortable. I don't know if you guys understand or really, you'll see a horse that's getting anxious, getting ready to go, and you can hear them start to gear up behind you. But when it came to Zena, she was just very subdued, very quiet the whole way. When you moved her out, she just went by. And that's what I want to hear. That's what I definitely want to see. So my number 7 was Zena Kemp. Yours?
Blue Rare.
Blue Rare. Yep.
She dropped down a little bit, obviously, but she's still trained good.
Exactly. And Blue Rare getting back a little bit was simply by design. This isn't her sliding a bit. This is us being super careful. I know even Dr. Latessa said the other day, well, if you still see her loading weight and she's a little sore on her knees, maybe, give her some time off. That's a generic way of looking at it. That's like a doctor, you going into the doctor and saying, doctor, I got a vicious headache. Here's a Tylenol, right? He's not going to schedule an MRI. He's not going to do a barrage of tests. He's going to tell you to take a Tylenol. Well, I know Blue Rare, and just generically giving her time off will help her, help every horse. But I don't believe, I don't mean to argue with the vet, but it's not like he did a full barrage of tests and then said, you know what, I think this is what you should do. He listened to what was going on with the filly, knows that we just did her knees not that long ago, and said maybe we'll just give her 2-3 weeks off. We'll back off with her. But what I saw also, I think the one thing that we were missing, what you said the other day, was her left knee blew up, taking weight from that right one, but her hocks blew up.
Yes.
And I believe what we were seeing over the last month was not her knees at all. It was the remnants of what her knees bothering her a little bit had done. She's a big filly. She took a lot of weight behind. Her hocks got a little sore. Her back got a little sore. We're working on her back, but her hocks blew up when Amy blistered her. The two places that blew up, the kid struck out, and the field they were going off the field thinking he struck out, but he dropped the ball and he had to run him down. The two things that were happening was she was taking weight on the left side. That's why you saw the left knee blow up, but the right knee did not blow up.
No, it's the only thing that didn't blow up.
So what I'm saying is all of what we're seeing right now was taking place before we ever did her knees. She was starting to take weight on the left side. The left knee blew up a little bit. She was starting to load weight behind her back. You saw how she sweated up the other day. Her back is still a little bit sore, and her hocks were a little bit sore. Now, we could give her 3 weeks off, and that would all go away. But it would also mean we're 3 weeks, not 3 weeks, but 6 weeks behind now with her. What I would say is she doesn't need any time off. We just need to treat the secondary issues. I'm not talking about injecting and everything. Just work on her back, work on her hocks, work on her knees and her feet. And I believe also when I took those flip-flops off, it was... yes, honey?
Are we going out?
You can go outside if you want. I'm not saying you can't. Where would you...
Go to the playground.
Well, then go to the playground. It's right there. I'll send Ava over to get you in a minute. You don't have to go over with her right now, but you're going to have to go get her in a minute. So I'm going to give you... Hey, I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Playground is right there, 40 feet away. You get 10 minutes. All right? Okay, walk around the parking lot, please. Don't go through the parking lot. Walk over to the grass and on the grass over there. Okay?
I don't want to hit this car.
No, that's all right. Here, I'll help you. I got it. Whoa, I got it. Out you go. In front of the car on the grass, please. Thank you. So, I think everything I saw from Blue Rare made total sense. Made total sense to me the other day. I was happy with what I saw, and I believe we can unwind what has been wound up over the last 4 weeks. And all this is normal stuff, but if I'm going to be completely honest, Blue Rare's been under a microscope for 6 weeks. I just think so highly of this filly. I know the breed, I know the sire, and I was not going to let her get beyond a point that I was comfortable with. So all this is just her being under a microscope. Where's he at? Is he on the field?
Center.
Oh, center. So my number 7, your number 6 was Blue Rare.
No, 7.
Your number 7 was Blue Rare. My number 6 was Millie Girl. The Pacers are tough because I just think we have a deep group of 4 or 5 really, really good Pacers. Now, none of this matters because we haven't seen anybody else's Pacers. But if I was going to look at our 5, that top 5, historically speaking, now 6, because you can put Dune on that list. No joke.
Yes.
Right? And Solidarity was good too. Also come 30 seconds a mile in 2:12. So he was good too. So we have, like he was coming to me at the wire. We have 7. He might have actually come 30 seconds flat because he was a couple lengths back when he put him in gear. We have 7 pretty deep looking Pacers. Historically, from our Pacers year over year, these horses bode very, very well. But I have no idea what everybody else's Pacers look like. All I can tell you is for filly, and if you and Jacob are super worried now, you can put shin boots on if you want to buy her a little set of neoprene shin boots.
Oh, is that okay now?
Well, it just seems silly. I would never do it, but I would feel bad if she cut her leg because we didn't. I don't feel she needs shin boots. I would not put them on.
She doesn't need anything.
If she was mine and only mine, she would wear nothing. But here's the problem. Her mother chopped her tendon off, right? Her mother hit her tendon, ended her career before it ever got started.
I wasn't saying that she needs them on.
No, she doesn't need them, but neither did her mom.
But training down and horses, we stop and go and things happen when we're training. And it's like, what's the big deal?
Well, because what's stopping us from putting them on everybody was my take.
Go ahead.
I just don't think it's necessary, that's all. But I would feel bad if history repeated itself in some weird way.
It's different now that we're going fast. It was more like when you get jammed up or when a horse shies away from
They got to learn to do that stuff. They got to learn to do that stuff.
But it's different when you're on a bigger track and you got more room.
You're worried about room? You got lots of room. So Millie Girl is my number 6. I thought she's been training fantastic. Looked fantastic the other day. And as I said, could have inhaled me pretty easy in the last turn and likely would have won the set easy.
Yeah, you didn't want to let me beat you, so you told me to sit on the outside.
No, I didn't want you to beat her.
And then Perfect Thought almost picked me off, and you said Diosa picked me off.
I think Diosa did beat you, but I was behind both of you. I can't really say for certain. I was 4th, so I couldn't say for certain who beat who. I thought she beat you, but I could be wrong. But Millie Girl was very good. I love her tenacity. I will tell you this, and you may not have noticed this. Not very often you can move a horse out, start them up, and then stop them. Put them in park, put them in neutral. Not 2 years.
She almost makes me wish I had a license because she's so easy to drive.
She's just a nice... Not very often you can do that with horses, and she is one that you can do it with. So my number 6 is Millie Girl. Yours? Dune. I don't blame you.
We don't need to beat that drum again, but...
I think we can beat that drum again, though. It's to hear somebody say, oh, Dune trained good. Oh, no, she was good. The Michigan filly's good. James, when I was pulling up, he said, Anthony, I have no idea what the Michigan scene looks like, but that is a nice filly. I said, man.
Are you going to let her do a start at Mohawk?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I don't think there's any rush. We'll see when her first stake actually is. It might actually be late June. So we'll see when her first stake is in Michigan. But I'm going to tell you what, that is a scary, scary filly. And I'm not saying, I wish I had to put her in the Breeders' Crown. No, regionally speaking, she could race. If we could put her up against any pacer we have right now, and she would do just fine. And that's a tall thing to say. So, Dune, I don't blame you. She was incredibly good yesterday. My number 5, Perfect Thought. It's not that she slid to number 5 overall. When I am looking at the pecking order of our barn, she's number 1. But we're talking about our, what did you call it this week? Stars of the Week? We're talking about our Stars of the Week. And she definitely was no better than, she definitely was safe. She definitely was no better than 3rd the other day, but was closing hard on the end of it. Has been just a great filly for us and continues to be a great filly. My number 5 for this week, just because the top 4 were 4 horses that stood out to me this week. It's hard for Perfect Thought to stand out when you already think she's the best horse in our barn. Yeah. So she's my number 5 this week. Your number 5.
Bobby.
Bobby? Oh, Bobby made number 5. She's on the list. She made 2 breaks.
Yeah, that's your fault.
It was my fault, but in hindsight, I thought that you'd put the snake cord on her. When I started to coast up behind Jason.
You said when I go with her,
that's fine. I did say that. No,
cord.
You're right. And when I started to coast up behind Jason, 2 things happened. 1, I thought she was wearing the snake cord and she would be manageable. And 2, Jason had already gone too fast to the quarter and he was starting to hit the brakes. And I should have just moved her over like I told you to do the other day. But I said, you know what? This is a good opportunity for her to behave. But without the snake cord on.
That's what I thought that one day, that she near piled the field up.
I know, but she wasn't ready. Mentally, she wasn't ready to do that. She's a different horse now, but she's still learning. And the mistake yesterday was the other day was my fault.
So she made 2 breaks and she still finished beside me. That's why she's on my list.
She was good. Yeah, so she's on your list for obvious reasons. I think she's a nice filly. We're going to have a lot of fun with Bobby. She just has to learn to... And here's the thing, and this is why we train the way we do, because not every horse gets it immediately, right? It takes time. It takes repetition, that rinse and repeat. And Bobby will get it before we get to the races, but she's coming. I don't blame you.
She's not not intelligent. It's
No, I
just,
think she is stupid.
You do?
And after seeing her now, I don't think she's super smart. She likes lots of food. She's a good eater. She's a nice filly to be around. She's happy. But you can't continue to make the stupid mistakes and not really fall into the category of stupid. I don't think she's a super smart horse. She's a very lovable horse. Listen, and for people out there saying, well, that's not very nice, let me be as clear as I can. Till the day I die, if you asked me, if you just walk up to me and say, Anthony, I need to know who's the best horse you ever had, it will always be the Big Fred till the day I die. And I will tell you this right now. God has never sent down a stupider animal than the Big Fred. He is and will forever be and will ever hold the trophy of being the dumbest horse I have ever had in my entire life. But he will always be the first horse on, all right, who's the best horse you ever had? And he was never the fastest. I'll tell you why. He always made the same. He would be a 5-year-old, and if they were, the Campbellville Training Center is right beside a road. Cars go by back and forth all the time. If he was 5 or 6 and they were doing road work and just happened to put just one of those construction pylons on the road, good night, Irene. He would destroy the whole place. He is the dumbest horse I ever saw. But I'll tell you why. I was much younger, and when rent was due...
What about the radio?
What about the radio? When he chewed the cord?
Like 4 times and
4 times.
electrocuted himself.
So we put the cord for the radio, unfortunately was close to his stall. 4 times he chewed through the electrical cord, and all 4 times he sure shocked himself. Never dawned on him that this cord that I'm chewing would shock me. It's like 4 times in a row, and I'm like, just everything he did screamed dummy every day. But he was the most likable horse, and as I was about to say, when rent came due, when bills were tight, when stuff had to get paid, old Fred always showed up. So when I say Bobby is stupid, it's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. But I am coming to the belief that she is just not a very smart horse. But she loves her work. She's got a great attitude. She's got a great work ethic, and she loves her work. That's far more important than her level of intelligence. My number 4, Jailbird Jog. I said in a video earlier this morning, 2 horsemen came up to me the day after we trained all the babies, and they both said the same thing. You went with a trotter yesterday, wore the trotting hobbles, not a very big filly. Who was that? I said, that was a Tactical Landing filly. She is very fast. One of the horsemen said, I don't think there's a racehorse in my barn that could go with her right now in that training mile. And I said, she was very good. I went a mile and 13 last quarter in 30 seconds, and she probably could have come 29. She was very, very good. Now, the big question she has to answer is, can you do that from the middle of the pack? Mm-hmm. It's not that she's crazy or fractious, and we've seen this before. I said to somebody yesterday, it was funny, a gentleman comes up and he goes, you got a lot of international monies? I said, yeah. So he's picking my brain, and he said, no, we wear a mini bit on him, but he's hot. I said, sir, we have 2 that wear a dog chain and plenty that wore snake cords. I said, and it was funny because there was a kid that had a pretty nice Tactical Landing. He said, you had that good Tactical Landing filly? I said, well, Megan had her. We trained her back. We bought her, trained her down, trained her, but she was, obviously she went 49 for Megan. She goes, I got one, man, she's hot. I said, Jailbird Jog wears a dog chain every day. That's what she wears. And just so you think, just so you're not confused, Tactical Mounts, the fastest Tactical Landing of all time, wore a snake cord. She had a wire snake cord on coming out of the winner's circle when she went in 49-4. And I thought that Megan had taken it off her, and I said in a video one day, and I don't know if she wore it a lot at 4. Megan said she wore that snake cord till the last race of her life. You would never race her without that wire snake cord on. And she wore that her whole life. So I'm not worried about the dog chain or the snake cord. I'd be saying, it seems pretty. Listen, it's very simple. I told everybody, if the horses are pulling a little bit, jogging or training, the mini bit, throw it out the window. The most useless piece of equipment on planet Earth. Might be for a horse that grabs on a little bit, fine. Snake cord, you have the rope snake cord, the yellow one. You have the wire snake cord at various lengths. And then if they're still pulling, you have Mr. Dog Chain over there on the wall. And all 3 of them are employed quite a bit in her barn. So I don't care about that. As I said, it's not that Jailbird Jog is a runaway. I just need her to be more understanding of her work. She was fluid because she got to do everything in a very scheduled way in her training mile the other day. She just picked up speed, and then I dropped the hammer and away she went. Well, can I drop the hammer from standing still is kind of the question. I want to get her to a point where I'm sitting fourth, I move her over, and I ask her to go, and she goes. Right now, she'll get out of gear, get on the left line a bit, put a couple of steps in. We need to get her to that fluid gait.
I think she struggles in the turns, and she gets a little bit.
She struggles.
Not like
she
Bobby,
does.
But I think that's not going to matter when she goes to the Meadowlands.
It's not going to matter when she goes to the Meadowlands.
Where is she? Kentucky? What is she doing?
She's likely going to go to Kentucky.
Either way, it's a big turn.
Yeah. So with her, you're right. But I think it's more her knees bothered her a little bit. Much like Sterling. You said he would get to the turn and fold up. Well, she's the opposite. She would come out of the turn, switch her leads, touch herself, and make a break. She needs to... And with the horses, they need to get to a point where... See, when they're regressing, when they're retreating, when they're hesitating, that's when they interfere. They need to push through with that sense of urgency. And once they learn to do that, those steps go away. So my number 4 is Jailbird Jog. Who's yours?
I think it was Uncle Danny.
Uncle Danny, yeah. He was exceptionally good the other day, too.
He's just he's becoming consistent.
He went faster than he should have.
Yeah.
And he went faster than I thought he could have in a jog cart the other day.
And he looks good. He's dappled out. He looks like he's just coming into form right now.
Yeah, he looks really, really good. I was really happy with him. Eric said he started a little bit stiff on Saturday, but again, the track was hard. It was pouring rain, and he'd done a lot of work this week. So I told him, I said, I appreciate the input. I'll go with him Monday because I want to see how he looks. But I'm not worried.
Was there a list of ones that maybe
every rider got back to me, and the only one that said there was any issue was Eric. Said maybe Uncle Danny started a little stiff, but everybody was pretty good.
So no one said anything about Pretty Eyes starting out?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. And it is important to say this isn't an Uncle Danny thing. This is an Uncle Peter thing.
Yes.
This is not our first go around with Uncle Peter. We've had as much good luck with anybody with Uncle Peter as probably anybody on planet Earth, and I guess that's not fair to say. Maybe I'm wrong, but we've had a lot of luck with Uncle Peter's, and this is not new to us. How long till he's up?
I can't see the back.
I think number 4 got out last time, so it'll be soon. We're almost done anyway. My number 3, Diosa Della Donza. She's big, strong, and she's like a pit bull. Now she's starting to understand her training. She was so good the other day. I thought she'd get up to beat you. Maybe she didn't, and it really doesn't matter because both those fillies were super good going under the wire. Diosa Della Donza is our best Ohio trot pacing filly, and quite frankly, I don't know that we've ever had one that can go there. We had that blue chip filly that could go a little bit, but the bottom fell out of her after her second or third start. Venice blue chip.
Oh yeah.
She was good training down, looked good,
I
and then
loved
just
her.
they just sold her again on On-Gate the other day. She went at 54 at the Meadows this spring.
Yeah, she's.
But Diosa Della Donza is a true competitor, and then when you look at her breeding and who her brother is, she's legit. She's a good filly. My number 3 for all of those reasons, Diosa Della Donza. Yours? Zena Kemp.
Yes.
Yep.
I really like her. I think she's going to just take off when she gets to the clay track. Or is it clay?
It is clay track. You're right.
Yeah.
At the Red Mile, I think you're right.
Because the little things, the issues that bother her right now, they will not bother her there.
I think you're 100% correct.
And she's got a big engine. I think she's not very big, but I mean, Maury wasn't very big.
No,
and
but she gets over the ground like a big horse. And I think you have to explain to people what you mean. So when we go to the Red Mile, the track is clay. There's no concussion. Horses that have little minor issues, they don't have them at the Red Mile. And it's an extremely forgiving, fast surface. And what Amy's saying is, you take away those sesamoids that bother her, you take away those knees that bother her, she's now matured, she gets to this clay track, she could really come forward in a big way, and I think she's 1,000% correct. Zena Kemp is going to love Lexington. My number 2, Tomboy Strong. I just think she continues to get better and better and better every week. And it's incrementally. You don't notice it because she just goes out and gets it done every week. But you don't know what it takes to get it done every week. Everybody is improving. Everybody's getting good. And for this filly just to come out and do it again and again and again and again, she's starting to edge away from the other fillies. We have a deep division of trotting colts and trotting fillies for Ohio. This filly's the top of the heap right now. My number 2 is Tomboy Strong. You?
Millie Girl.
Millie Girl, yeah.
I just can't take her off.
Do you want to add her? Do you want to add anything to what I said?
Not really. She's consistently the same. She's always good. She just She doesn't do anything wrong.
She's a nice
At
filly.
all.
She's a very, very nice filly. So that was your number 2. My number 1, first time ever, Uncle Danny. It's hard to not go that fast the other day and look
I thought you were
that
going to say
good.
Captain Doolittle.
He could go on the list.
I know, he finished second.
You guys have no idea. We keep talking about it. And I will tell you who he reminds me of now. Austral Hanover. How he was terrible, terrible. And then quietly got a little bit better, and then looked awesome. I am thoroughly pleased with from where he was 6 weeks ago to where he was now. Captain Doolittle is almost unrecognizable. He's a totally different horse. And my number 1, Uncle Danny, you just can't be that good and not be that good. He just continues to look great at training, and he obliterated everybody the other day. Your number 1.
My number 1 was Tomboy Strong.
Tomboy Strong.
It doesn't seem to matter. And I think, like I said, it's always biased because it depends on who you're going with sometimes.
It's hard. Anybody can go with her. She's been good for everybody. She's just a good filly, and she's going to be a good filly for us.
She just seems like... Every single time that she's trained and I've won the set, I haven't even turned my whip around.
She just does. She knows what she's supposed to do, and this is the difference between her and her brother.
Smart.
I'm now starting to see the separation. It's the work ethic, the understanding of her work, and then the execution, what she does. It's just so methodical and so good. I'm really, really pleased. That wasn't him. No. Oh, he's not up yet. I was rushing everybody because I thought he was coming up next. So they are out of the inning now. Did they score? I think they scored a run in the last inning, didn't they? What's the score?
It was
0-0? Oh, good. So as we head into the top of the 3rd inning here in Guelph, it is the Guelph Royals 12U Tier 1 AAA team, which is Ollie. Ollie's team is 0, and they're playing are these kids also 12U or 13U?
No, they're 13U Toronto, North Toronto.
So they're playing. Oh, North Toronto could be anywhere. That's a pretty big swath.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That might be some sort of select team for Northern Toronto, right? So you're looking at that could be Mississauga. That could
not
be
north. That's west.
No, yeah, but that could be anywhere up near the top of it, right? That's a big area. The 401 runs across it. It's 25 minutes to drive across Northern Toronto.
Yeah.
So, Steve lives up in that area, right?
Etobicoke.
That area would be Northern Toronto.
Okay.
So I didn't realize it until I just asked Amy. Both the teams that these 12U kids are playing against are 13 years old. They're 13U teams. They are Tier 1, AAA, 13U select teams, and they're playing against Ollie's team, who is a 12U. They are 12U AAA select team. So they're up a level, up a year, and they beat both these teams yesterday. It's 0-0 right now as they head into the top of the 3rd. Ollie's back in center field. It has been a good weekend. A little chilly. The weather's kind of dampened it a little bit. Stands are a little bare, but it's been great baseball nonetheless. So that's our top 10 list for Saturday. Thoroughly pleased with what I've seen from the babies over the last week, and most importantly, I love seeing that ladder move around. Right? I love to talk about Captain Doolittle, who was near the bottom and is somehow quietly making his way up through the ladder and looks very good. So really happy with what I've seen, really happy with the output from the babies, and thoroughly pleased with the movement on our theoretical ladder. So take care. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I will talk to you all very soon.